Now, it's been some time since we first did the GT4s on this channel, but today we're stepping back in the Falcon GT4 challenge at Charlotte this time. And as you're going to see in this video, this is probably one of the hardest track car combinations I've ever had to do. Since we last did the GT4s, there have been quite a few updates, including the new Season 4 that has just come out a couple weeks ago, where they've completely changed how the GT4s feel. Trust me, as you're going to see in this video, I had a lot of trouble getting to grips with it. Now, I've got a fun 3 races for you guys to watch, including some fun battles and very intense moments, and I can't wait for you guys to see them. But just before we jump into that, if you do end up enjoying the video, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and just comment down below what you guys thought of the video and what you think I should improve on. But without wasting any more time, let's jump straight into that first race. So we're jumping straight into our first qualifying session for race 1 of this video in the new and improved GT4 models for Season 4, and today I'm driving the Mercedes AMG GT4. Now, I have to admit to you guys, I'm definitely not used to this car at all. I did a lot of practice before this race and I still couldn't get to grips with it. This new GT4 model feels very, very different to what I remember at least. The car feels a lot more twitchy and hard to control.
It's validated. I've got to mess up the first one. That's how we do it on this channel.
My aim before joining this race session was to at least try and get under a 25, but clearly that wasn't happening, as I could barely even get a low 25. So after practicing for quite a while, I just thought, why not forget about the practice and just jump into the first race, see if having some competition will push me a little bit. I wasn't expecting too much out of this qualifying session. I just didn't want to qualify directly at the back, so I'd actually have a chance to battle with some people who are relatively fast or on the same pace as me, just to get used to what it's like battling in these cars, especially with how twitchy they are. It was going to be very interesting seeing how I'd manage driving a car that I'm not very confident driving, as well as having the added pressure of people around me trying to battle me for position. Now, the first race of Season 4 being at this layout of Charlotte was pretty surprising to me, as I've never really done this layout of Charlotte before, but you guys can correct me in the comments. Maybe I'm the only one who doesn't know this layout of Charlotte before this Season 4 update, but I haven't got much to complain about. This track was extremely fun to learn, regardless of how difficult it was to learn, because I did have a pretty hard time getting to grips with it, and you can see by this first qualifying session that I'm still nowhere near to grips with this track. So my best bet was just not to judge myself too harshly and just try and have fun in the race, get into some battles and see where other people are driving different to me.
Yeah, I think we could. Can't say it's looking great. I mean, we're starting very far back. I believe I can go faster, so I'm just going to do my best here, to be honest. Let's see how this goes.
The estimated strength of field is 3,514.
It's been a very long time since I've done these GT4s, and in a new car as well, so yeah. The thing is, my optimals are 24.8. Obviously, optimal's not a perfect example of how fast you can actually go, but the fact that our optimals are 24.8 is a good sign at least. I believe the pace is there. Yeah, I'm just gonna have some fun for this first race, see how far forward we can get, or how far back. A lot of people behind didn't qualify, so I reckon there's gonna be a few that are just gonna fly past us. Yeah, that Christian is gonna come past, I reckon. There we go.
So we're now starting our first race in the GT4 class around Charlotte. I'm sure it's going to be pretty mental. It's already looking very, very packed at the back of the field here, or mid-pack of the field. And I'm just looking to stay safe, to be honest. Trying not to get into any crashes early in the race. Try and keep myself nice and tidy. And a little bit goes on behind me as a McLaren collects the ball as well as another car. And we just about missed that GT4 Porsche just in front of us. It's looking really hectic at the moment. A Mercedes flies off over to our right, and another Mercedes looks like he completely missed his braking point, almost hitting the wall to the left of us.
One thing as well, this is a 20-minute race, so it's actually quite a long race for a lower safety rating series.
And obviously I'm not very used to these 20-minute races. Usually you see me in the Toyotas or the Mazdas where the races range from about 10 minutes to 15 minutes. So yeah, doing this 20-minute race felt like an endurance race to me. Regardless, a Mercedes flies into the pit lane. I think that was the one that actually smacked into the wall after missing their braking point. And another Mercedes hits the wall in the last corner. I don't think you guys understand how hard these GT4s are to drive, especially after this new Season 4 update. Maybe you guys have got to grips with it a lot better than I have.
Yeah, understood.
You can see I'm missing turning points, missing braking points. Yeah, it's all going a bit mad, to be honest.
I think the ability of us getting to the end of the race is going to give us a half-decent finish, to be honest.
Now as we skip to lap 3, I feel like I'm finding a little bit of a rhythm now, sort of settling into the race, not making as many mistakes as before. We can see this pack of 3 cars just ahead of us having a little battle, and I definitely want to get involved. Hopefully maybe I can pick up some positions as they make a couple mistakes battling each other. And you can see the car in P1 is going a hell of a lot faster than we are. We can barely even get under a 25.5. But it's best to focus on myself. And talking of focus, we follow the Mercedes in front of us into the wall.
Oh no. That is not good. I can feel it already as well. For fuck's sake. Another 15 minutes of this. Doesn't feel too awful, but I definitely notice it.
And that is one way to make a 20-minute race a lot harder for myself. I just can't stay away from these issues, can I? Hopefully I've learned from that a little bit.
Sake. Sorry. I couldn't get it stopped.
Go and f*** yourself. Go and fucking crawl in a dirty, dank little hole where you fucking come from, you dirty, dragon-eating little fucking...
I guess we didn't learn anything from hitting into the wall there as we completely take out the Mercedes in front of us. Just the stupidest mistake possible. Going really late on the brakes into a tight corner while 2 cars in front of us are battling. If you couldn't tell already, I'm not used to this car at all. And I've still definitely got a lot to learn with how to control the car, the limits of the braking, the limits of how hard I can push it. And it looks like I'm going to pay for my mistakes as a driver behind us is now catching because of all the issues I've had along this race. So I've really got to step up my game. If I want to gain some positions or do better in this race than I have along this race, I'm really just going to need to start focusing. Skipping forward to lap 6 now, we've actually managed to catch up to the Aston Martin in front of us as well as the Mustang just in front of him. So if I can actually make some moves on these 2 guys, it will definitely help me in defending the guy just behind me. As you can see, Adrian tries to go for a move on me, a very, very late move. Luckily, he didn't actually go for it, or I think that would have ended quite badly for both of us, but mainly for me probably. As we're coming into the first chicane now, the Aston Martin has a look up the inside of the Mustang, and that allows us to send a move down the inside, not completely on purpose, but we sort of had to go for it by that point. Skipping forward to lap 7, we're gaining quite a bit on the Mustang, and I think I've definitely got the pace to overtake him. We're making a couple of mistakes though.
Ooh, that guy almost hit the wall. Jesus Christ.
The Mustang himself looks like he's making a couple of mistakes. Maybe I'm putting some pressure on him, and hopefully I can keep up my pace as he's looking really, really twitchy.
He's looking very sketchy.
I think we've definitely got a good chance. He completely misses the first corner, almost hitting the wall.
Man, he kept it out.
Our overtake on Ollie just behind us has definitely helped us with that Mercedes, as we've now gapped him quite a bit now. The Mustang goes pretty wide here, really difficult corner, really weird braking. This next corner is going to be quite important on whether we're going to be able to catch the Mustang or not. We get a really good exit out of the hairpin onto this Mustang, right on his rear bumper now. I think we're going to have a pretty good chance of overtaking him into the next chicane.
That Mustang power.
But the Mustang has a lot of power, and he seems to be getting away with us in the first stages out of the hairpin. But obviously the slipstream will always be on our side, and we dive for a move up the inside, get into the apex first, and managing to cleanly get past him without any collisions, which is very unlike me, as you guys have seen.
Mustang's gone. Just a matter of me trying to keep it together now and letting these 2 guys behind me battle.
Fast forward into lap 11 now, we've got a nice gap to the car behind as Ollie is making a couple mistakes into, again, one of the hardest corners on the track, and that allows for Adrian to get side on with him going into the hairpin. So it looks like they're going to have a big battle, which is great for me, and you can see the physical effects of this race are now getting to me as I literally swipe some sweat off my forehead as Adrian goes for a move up the inside, pushing Ollie off the track, and that gives Christian a perfect opportunity to go in between both of them, and then gets a nice switchback into the first corner on Ollie. I mean, that was just a great move, to be honest. I did say at the start that Christian was going to catch up to us, and he seems to be doing a very good job at doing exactly that.
I think the 2 guys behind had a crash, because now it's Christian just behind me.
However, I don't need to worry too much about Christian, as with all that kerfuffle just behind us, I've managed to build quite a good gap. Along the next 2 laps, we managed to maintain the gap we had to Christian, surprisingly, especially with him being the 7th highest iRating. And we managed to get to the end of the race, crossing the line in 8th place.
Well, we made it to the end. I was not fast, but we made it to the end. I say I'm gonna call it a night, and we'll come back tomorrow.
I'm pretty happy with that result, considering we started in 15th place, so can't complain. Just need to keep going, getting used to the car, learning my capabilities, and just becoming more comfortable overall. And with that, we're gonna jump straight into our next quali session.
Here goes nothing.
So we now have the opportunity to improve our lap time, improve our quali result, and hopefully start in a better position than we did in the last race. All I've got to do is focus up and get a solid lap in.
That is not what I meant by here goes nothing.
Well, I wouldn't say that's a great start. I definitely am not used to the cold tyres of this car yet. But as I was going to say is our lap time has actually improved from the last race. We did a little bit of practice before this second race just to get myself used to the car again. You can see in the bottom left there I've managed to get my best lap time down to a 1:25.0, which is pretty good compared to our best last night, which was a 25.29. So 2 temps found. And we're coming towards the last chicane of the lap at the end of our quali session here. You can see we're under 3 temps down on our delta. And we come across the line with a 25.383, which isn't the best lap time, but it gets us P6 for the race start.
Okay, well, a whole second off pole. Let's see what we can do here. To be honest, I'll just be happy to finish. If I can finish in top 5, I'll be happy with that. This is going to be a very hard race. I've accepted the win is completely out of the question. Just hitting that 24 mark is just so hard. You've got to be so consistent. I know I have it in me, it's just hooking it together.
Okay, so lights are out and we get a pretty horrific start, to be honest. I don't know what I was looking at there. It definitely wasn't the car ahead of me. And a Mercedes gets completely taken out by that silver Mercedes just in front of us. We're now following a purple Aston Martin that's just in front of us. We kind of have a look up the inside whilst also defending from behind us. And the silver Mercedes just slams into the wall on the right. Wonder if you'll get some damage from that. Unluckily, we have absolutely no grip and just go really wide into the first turn of this double right-hander. And we are now defending from a Mercedes behind us as the Aston Martin just spins and just completely smashes into the wall on the right hand of us. Very unfortunate for him. Now we've got a lot of pressure from behind us. I'm really going to need to pick up my pace on this first lap. I'm just not used to the cold tyres. I don't know why. It's really hard for me to get used to this car on cold tyres. And with my history of just spinning and putting it in the wall, I'm not confident enough yet to just completely send it on the first lap.
These cars are so hard to drive on that first lap.
So continuing on with this first lap, it looks like the couple of cars behind us are getting themselves into a battle. And we've got quite a bit of distance between the car in front of me and the car behind me. So I've got a little bit of breathing room. I can try and start settling into a little bit of a rhythm and hopefully pick up my pace, as it's a little bit shocking. Now we can see a battle behind as a Mustang dives up the inside of this Mercedes and the Mercedes hits him back as he just completely smacks into the wall, losing his rear bumper. That was a big crash. Oh my god. Nevertheless, this has allowed the car behind me now to get a bit of clean air and not have to battle anyone to catch up to me. And he's actually the 3rd highest iRating in this lobby, so I definitely have a lot to worry about. I don't want to make too many mistakes. I've got a lot more time of this race left to go. Now fast forward into lap 3 of 15. We are going to look behind us again as we can see the Aston Martin that spun off into the wall earlier completely wipe out a driver just in front of him, and he hits the wall. Obviously he's not very happy with that. Now after things have calmed down a little bit on lap 3 for me, I find myself in 4th place, which is pretty good considering where I started in 6th place. And getting to this position, can't be too displeased. Our pace is looking decent. We're driving a lot more consistently than the last race. All we have to do is just try our best to keep in front of this driver just behind us. It'll be nice to get a podium, but to be honest, I don't think my pace is good enough to catch up to our friend Gaston just in front of us.
As well. Just hit the wall. So I'm going to need to be very smooth and try and maintain the whole race.
And yes, obviously aside our little scrape with the wall there, tyres are a factor in this race. It's a 20-minute race and you can see the lap time sort of drop down towards the end of the race. So driving smoother and not just pushing the car 100% every single lap is definitely going to benefit me a lot. as I smack into the wall again for the second time in a row. I just need to get it together, to be honest. Yeah, I can't be making big mistakes like that, especially when I've got someone so close behind me. We completely missed the exit of the second right-hander on the double right, and that allows for Nelson to close the gap.
It not seem like it, but I'm actually not feeling pressure from this guy behind. That's not good at all. Genuinely just making mistakes off my own back.
Oh yeah, you definitely made it easy for us to believe that, mate. So, back on board with Daniel again in the Aston Martin, and he's looking to overtake this blue Mercedes just in front of him. This poor soul, I wonder what the Aston Martin's going to do to him now as he just completely pit maneuvers him into the wall. Jesus, that was a big bang into the tyre barrier there. And as the next 4 laps aren't really that eventful, we've actually skipped forward to the end of lap 10 here, on to lap 11 now, as the gap to me and Nelson Santana behind us has literally been the exact same for the last 4 laps of this race. So yeah, consistency is looking good on my side. And we're going to look back towards Alvaro just behind us, who has Brendan just behind him, looking for a move up the inside into the last chicane, and he pit maneuvers him into the grass, onto the infield.
Great job, man. Great job.
You turned over me, bro.
Yeah, I don't know what Brendan was smoking with that observation of that collision, but he definitely took him out, and I'm not surprised Alvaro's annoyed. Now, getting to the end of the final lap, we actually crossed the line in P4, which is our best finish of the season so far.
The pace definitely wasn't there. I'm sweating, big dog. Pace definitely wasn't there, but we made it to the end, and it's a P4 with 3.2 SOF, so yeah, I can't complain. Now I know I can perform with someone literally within a second the whole race, so I'm pretty pleased with that.
So without any more waiting, let's go straight into the last race of this video. As you can see in the bottom left there, in our last practice session, we managed to get a 1 minute 24.942, which is a really good lap time considering where we come from the start of this video. Now all I need to do is just try and carry that momentum into this qualifying session. I'm not confident I can set a 24 in this quali just yet, as I've literally only set 124 since I've actually done a 24. And as you can see, we're going around this long left-hander at the start of the lap to hopefully put us towards getting a good lap time. We're up on the delta really nicely, and unfortunately we completely lose the rear and slide, losing us a bunch of time for this first lap.
Look at this Alberto, 24.3. He must be hacking.
And yeah, Alberto, who was actually the winner of the last race, is just showing some unbelievable pace with a 24.3. I'm still even just trying to get under a 24.8 at least. But we've got one more lap of quali, and now just positive mindset. Try my best to set a good lap time in this quali session, and try my best to qualify at least in the top 5 of this race. It's an even higher SOF in this race than the last race. I think the SOF in this race was 3,700, which is actually probably the highest SOF I've actually raced in on this game so far. So just need to keep this lap clean, hit all my braking points, not send the car too hard, and just make sure I'm driving as smooth as possible, and really just lock in to try and get a good lap time. As you can see, we're over a 10th up on the delta so far, so it's looking really good. And out of the hairpin, we managed to get 1.5 temps up on our last lap time.
Yeah, the track's definitely a lot faster.
And we can see that Alberto set a 24.168, which is just a ridiculous lap time to set in a quali session especially. Coming into the first chicane now, really smooth exit. And we exit nice and clean. We managed to keep 0.5 temp up on our best lap time. To be honest, anything up on the delta is actually really good because that means we're in the 24 mark. And coming into the last chicane, we get an amazing exit onto the last corner.
Oh, what a lap, mate. I'm happy with that.
And cross the line with a 24.763, which is literally my best ever lap time on this track. So really pleased with that. That secures us P3 for the race start. So hopefully we can carry that speed into the race.
The estimated SOF is 3,701.
This Alberto is probably an esports driver or something. Once you sort of get around that 9k mark.
And with 9k iRating, I'm not surprised he's that quick in this car.
Get ready, going green.
Right.
The pace car is in.
And this time we actually managed to get a pretty decent start, getting side on with the guy in P2, but also having the Porsche just behind us looking up the inside into the first corner of the chicane. We have to take the evasive route, jump in the second curb on the left, which unsettled the car a lot and was a very scary moment, to be honest with you.
Oh my god. so bad on cold tyres.
And you can see the issue of me and cold tyres has not ended in this race.
No.
As again, I overshoot the first double right-hander. To be honest, I think I'm just taking too much speed into those types of corners on the first lap. I just need to calm it down, take a little bit less speed in, and just respect the fact that I'm not going to have as much grip as I normally would. The Mercedes slams into the back of the Porsche right behind me, so I get a little bit of breathing room. And as we head into this tight left-hander here, the McLaren spins out just in front of me.
I am stupid.
PT just spun on the hairpin. Jesus. Alright, I've just got to not crash now.
An amazing result for me. I managed to get myself to P2 in the first lap just because of that.
The third highest iRating is behind me now.
I knew that having P2 was not going to be an easy challenge, as the third highest iRating driver is directly behind me with a 5.7k iRating. So if I want to keep this second place, I'm really going to have to fight hard and find some pace that I've never actually shown before. This is going to be a hard race.
The car feels so predictable now. I don't know what's changed.
Yeah, what's changed is that the tyres are finally warm now. So admittedly, with Tom directly behind us, within a second behind us, I'm definitely feeling the pressure. I really want to keep this second position, but yeah, it's going to be very difficult, especially with a driver as competent as Tom just behind us as well. I've just got to really try hard to, well, just drive perfect, really. I feel like that's the only way I'm actually going to keep this position, as Tom absolutely sends it into the first chicane. You can see how eager he really is to catch me. I've got a lot of work to do, especially with how long is left in the race.
Got 17 more minutes of this.
And I'm definitely not expecting for it to be an easy 17 minutes either. Now we get to the end of lap 2, onto lap 3 now.
Mate, Alberto's just gone.
And now going into the tight hairpin left, you can see that Tom is directly behind us now, getting within 5 tenths, but luckily I'm actually quite good out of that hairpin and I managed to gain a little bit of distance from him once again. However, I'm unsure that into this first chicane I can keep the gap as big as it is now. But we keep it pretty clean going through the first chicane, maintaining the gap, mainly just keeping it out of the wall, to be honest. As you can see, I'm not very good at that from the previous races. And into the last chicane, we stay just above 5 tenths ahead of Tom. And it looks like if we can maintain this pace, our pace at the moment is a 25.179. So if we can keep consistent with that time, then I think we actually have a pretty good chance of staying ahead of Tom. And in Sebastian Malcolm fashion, we completely mess up the first double right, almost going off the track on the exit. And that allows for Tom to be directly on our back going into this long right-hander. I reckon he's going to go for a move here. But we take a defensive line.
Oh, I got
and completely missed the hairpin left. Yeah, it's all going to crap, to be honest. And unless we can find some extra speed to keep this second place, I reckon the second place challenge is going to be over very, very soon. As Tom is directly on our inside, but it looks like he's not far alongside enough, so he backs out going into the first chicane. But that's going to give him a way better exit coming out of the chicane. As he looks for a little move up the inside, there's not enough space. So he's just all over the place behind us. You can see how eager he is to get past, flashing us from behind. Look how close he is, literally just directly on my rear bumper. And somehow, coming to the end of lap 4 now, we are still in second place ahead of Tom. To be honest, this is probably going to ruin our race, as you see the Porsche behind us is starting to catch up to us now as he bumps into Tom and completely loses his car going into the wall. Oh God. Anyways, what I was going to say is my battle with Tom is allowing a lot of cars behind us to catch up now, and it looks like my pace definitely isn't strong enough to keep these guys behind, or at least keep Tom behind. As he goes off the track, you can see how much he's really pushing to try and get past me now. He looks for a move up the inside into the hairpin. Yeah, he gets a move up the inside directly in front of me now, and I've just got to do what I can to maybe get past.
Lost second.
It's looking very unlikely at the moment. Can we look for a move around the outside? Probably not on the entry to this chicane. And Tom is past. That's it. He gets past us. And yeah, there's not much we could have done there.
Alright, let me lock it.
Nevertheless, on to lap 6. We're still in P3. And you can see a couple of drivers behind us are starting to gain on us now. And we smack into the wall, just showing... yeah, our consistency just isn't there yet in this car. Hopefully I can get myself together to try and keep this P3 position, because that would be a really good finish for me. The only worry I have is the Mercedes just behind us that is still within a second, and it looks like Tom is just showing why he was able to get past us so easily, as he just manages to gap us. Annoyingly, we make a big mistake into the last chicane, allowing Edwin just behind us to catch up to us, and he's well within half a second behind us now. Yeah, we're going to have to work really hard for the next 11 minutes of this race to try and keep him behind. With this consistency and with the amount of mistakes I'm making, it's not looking very good. As we go wide on the first of the double rights again, I really need to get it together, man. I want to get this P3, and I'm only going to be able to do it if I can just focus up. Literally just focus up. Edwin is just behind us. He might go for a move up the inside into this hairpin. He's backing out, maybe going around the outside of the hairpin. Not sure about that move. He's got a BMW right on his tail, and is he going to take the inside line outside the hairpin? No. We managed to stay in front. It's looking decent so far. Hopefully, Sebastian, the other Sebastian, can put a bit of pressure on Edwin just behind us, and that would allow us to get some pace away from this guy, but it looks like he's not faltering at all. He's looking a lot more consistent than us. Seeing as I'm the last podium position, I wouldn't be surprised if he drives really aggressively to try and take this podium from me. As we come out of the last chicane, and you can see the massive train of cars just behind me, and I might be the one just holding up all of these people, trying to maintain my P3 position. There's about 4 cars within 2 seconds behind me, so again, making another mistake on a double right, it's just my mortal enemy, that corner. And Edwin manages to get on our inside, going into the long uphill right, possibly losing 2 positions. Edwin is on our outside, going into the hairpin, so luckily we'll have the inside. And we managed to keep the position, just about, still in front.
Mate, I am in a mad battle right now. Got no pace.
And Edwin is just showing how badly he wants to get past us, shooting for the outside and completely missing the corner.
This guy completely cut the track, trying to overtake me. Surely he's got a 1 second now.
And that's going to benefit us a hell of a lot, because he will now have a 1 second penalty as he bashes into the back of the BMW just behind us. I'm sure he's not very happy about that mistake he made there. Now going on to lap 9 of 15, we have the Sebastian just behind us going straight into the wall and probably losing a decent amount of time to us. We managed to get a little bit of breathing room and gap the car behind, but Edwin is very determined. You can see he's catching up a lot to the BMW going into the last chicane, and he bumps into the back of Sebastian, completely wiping him out.
Oh shit. I just saw that, he completely wiped him out.
And you can see I'm not upset about that collision at all. I'm even hoping that Edwin's got some damage from that crash, as we actually have a just under 2 second gap to Edwin now.
Oh, just put on the wall on the exit of the last corner.
And it looks like I should definitely be focusing a lot more on my performance than the drivers behind me. If I want to keep Edwin back, I know I've got a decent gap to him, but with my consistency, I think anyone can cut time out on me, to be honest.
This guy in P1 must be absolutely loving it. He's 15 seconds ahead of me.
As we start to get through lap 13 now, we've got just about 2 minutes left of this race.
Oh, I came off the brakes.
And I'm still making mistakes. Yep, still making stupid mistakes, giving Edwin every opportunity I can to let him come past me. It's like I don't even want the podium, to be honest. All you guys can do watching this is just hope I can not mess it up enough to keep the position. You can really see how hard Edwin is sending it to try and catch up to us. Coming into the last chicane now, we just have to try and keep it as clean as possible. I don't even need to go that fast. Edwin is just under a second behind me. If I can keep my exact pace I have right now, I think I'll maybe have a chance of keeping this podium position. Again, Edwin absolutely sending it into the first chicane, really riding them curbs, showing how determined he is to try and catch me. The spotter giving us a signal that there's 1 lap left after this lap, And Edwin is half a tenth just behind me now, almost touching my bumper into the last chicane there, and he messes up a little bit, going into the wall, scraping it and losing a little bit of time behind me. That might have saved the whole race for me just then, as we now literally need to survive one more lap and just try my best to keep Edwin behind, not make any crucial mistakes. And he's absolutely sending it into this long right-hander, goes slightly wide, maybe losing him a little bit of time coming into this hairpin. If we can get a good exit here, this will keep us pretty safe. And we get a slight bit of oversteer.
Hairpin of my life. 5 tenths, last lap.
There's a lot riding on this. And we take a little bit too much curb into that chicane. Edwin also takes a lot of curb into the chicane. And going into the last corner here, it's looking very good at the moment. Literally 2 more corners left.
Yes.
And we've just managed to do it.
P3. Yes.
And that solid P3 finish in a 3,700 SOF race boosts us to 190 iRating gained in this video, totaling to 3,300 as of now. So I'm really happy with that, and I can't wait to gain more. We're getting closer and closer to that 4K mark. Well, that's it for today. I really hope you guys enjoyed those races. I know I had a lot of fun recording them and a lot of fun racing them. And I can't wait to jump on more iRacing Season 4 and see what else it has to offer. I do want to say this isn't only an iRacing channel, so I'd love for you guys to let me know in the comments what other racing sims you'd like to see me jump on. I am looking to get out of this room and record some karting content for you guys, so stay tuned for that as well. Now, if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. Again, comment down below what you thought of this video and anything I can improve on. But as always, thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next one.